About 7 years ago, I learned how to do pull-ups on a horizontal bar. First, I did pull-ups with my left arm and then my right arm, doing a full pull-up. Even then, I became interested in pull-ups and continued to do it because it was easy and I liked it. A few years later, my body grew, as did I in pull-ups. But along with this, the difficulty also increased. And this difficulty began to push away my interest in pull-ups, where in the future I paid much less attention to it. But after another 2 years, I decided to develop endurance, where I tried to learn to do from 100 to 1000 push-ups in several approaches, where I also became interested in pull-ups again. On January 22nd, 2022, I decided to do 10 hours of pull-ups, inspired by my results in the 100 kilometers run. Over a period of 10 hours, I completed 1770 pull-ups, where I was quite surprised that this was even possible for me. Later, I began to be interested in how many pull-ups a person can do in 10 hours or even a day, where I found a lot of videos about David Goggins and his 4030 pull-ups. I wondered if it was possible for an ordinary boy from the village to reach such a figure. 400 days later, I started doing pull-ups. David did 4030 pull-ups in 17 hours and 16 minutes. I wanted to do the same amount in the same time, but I was able to do 10 less. I decided to continue it, but I had little strain and too much pain, since I did it without gloves. And after 19 hours, I did 4118 pull-ups, and I couldn't do any more pull-ups. This video greatly inspired people to do pull-ups in endurance. It gave many a great boost and relief in training, and it inspired me a lot. Then I decided to continue increasing volume to try to do even more. For almost exactly a year, I devoted myself to this, training both pull-ups and push-ups. I also increased running in order to train my central nervous system by enduring such high volumes. Sometimes I allocate even more weeks doing low volume loads in order to digest all the heavy loads. On March 30th, 2024, I set myself a pull-up date. Unfortunately, on this day, I started not in the morning, but after college, at 2 p.m., having not slept for almost 11 hours at a time. The time for pull-ups will be on my watch, so I can see it all the time. Some dirty food, but I will need it. 1 minute left until I start to do pull-ups. Let's go! This time I decided to do 6 pull-ups per minute, dividing this number by 2 times, that is, doing 3 pull-ups every 30 seconds. 1 stick is equal 3 pull-ups every 30 seconds, or 6 per minute. Right here is already 12 pull-ups. This time I started using sponges. I saw many record holders in pull-ups doing this too, and all my previous workouts I did pull-ups on sponges, where my hands remain completely clean from calluses. I think it will be much easier than my last time, because instead of doing one big step, I distribute it and do several small steps. 1 hour have passed and I did 360 pull-ups in 1 hour. Keep going. The first 6 hours were good. This is already the amount of load that I can handle, both in running and another type of training. Two hours have passed. Nothing hurts, and it shouldn't. I think first 5 hours will be boring, but we will see. The main difficulty was with the friction of the hands. Even with sponges, the hands rubbed, where calluses formed and burning sensation appeared on the skin. My hands are already burning after almost 3 hours. Bicep tendons a little bit hard after 4 hours. And my hands also burning. There is no calluses, but it burns. And there is still 20 hours left. (1,800 pull-ups in 5 hours and 5 minutes. It is still burning. My hands like on fire. I feel nothing but burning. After 8 hours, thoughts began to appear about the complexity of all this. I began to count the time, and this created external pressure. My hands felt like they were on fire. I hate going through the night, because at night, no matter how much reps you did, it's always difficult, because my body wants to sleep. But when you do all workouts without music, but with your thinking experiencing the entire load, then music became a powerful tool for you, helping you not to focus on the negative impression of the workout. But the music didn't help much either. The pain dulled everything. And it's already painful. Huge pain in this finger because I have huge pressure while pulling up. There's about 2,300 pull-ups, and my tendons hurts a little bit more. Burned 2,002 calories. That's a lot. The only thing was that I didn't want to sleep, because fast carbohydrates helped me with this. As fatigue progressed, they added energy. The food also didn't work out the way I wanted. I had to go to the toilet 4 times, where I resumed the missed repetitions by doing 6 pull-ups in 30 seconds. Huge pain in my hands because of calluses. But everything is good with bicep tendons, which is cool. Also good news is that I don't want to sleep, but now it is almost 11 p.m. I went to the toilet about 4 times during this day. This is because of dirty food, but it helps to keep moving. You know, the less you rest, the more your body can adapt to pain. In 11 hours, I broke my old record of 4,118 pull-ups. There were still 13 hours left. The tendons also made themselves felt, but most of all, it was difficult because of the hands. Touching the skin was very painful and unpleasant. And doing pull-ups, it was as if the whole body was receiving an electric shock, but I continued. It was easy when you don't think about time or repetitions, but are in the process. As soon as the thoughts arise of how much time is left, it slowed everything down. Even small steps now is a problem. 10 hours. 10 hours. Holy shit. 11 hours and I can't straighten my fingers. I just can't do it. This is my last record, but in 11 hours and 24 minutes. Pain is unbelievable right now when I do pull-ups. It's hard, but I do. I try to do pull-ups every 30 seconds, but now it's really difficult. I did 4,350 pull-ups in 12 hours and 35 minutes. It was dangerous to slow down, because as the pain cooled down, it began to grow even more, and it was also difficult to move consistently. And this was the moment when it was difficult in any case. So I tried not to rest for more than 1 minute after 13 hours. Before that, there was no rest. I was aware of the speed of the pace. It was high for me. I wanted to try to do 7,000 in 24 hours, where everything went according to plan, but the pace was already difficult to maintain. Therefore, there were big doubts about the next 13 hours. At the moment, I set my sights on that to do 5,000 pull-ups in 15 hours, since the arm muscle refused to contract any further. There were a lot of pressure on the little fingers during the grip, and therefore the pain developed into a loss of sensation in the fingers. I felt the touch, but there was a state of shock, as if I didn't feel them. I moved in small steps, doing 3 pull-ups every 30 seconds, and after 12 repetitions, I gave myself a 1 minute rest. It's not a matter of killing yourself. I spent a lot of time preparing myself for this, but we must also learn to overcome in our lives, where only difficult moments teach you this. I adjusted myself to the fact that the feeling of pain is only a sensation of the body. That I forced myself to do pull-ups does not feel pain, it helped me move. The most difficult thing was just to decide on the feeling of pain, in order to progress in pull-ups. And so I decided to finish everything by making 5005 pull-ups in 14 hours 52 minutes. With this, I don't want to motivate you to do the same over-the-top actions. By investing a lot of time and efforts into one thing, you will be capable of the real. 5005 pull-ups in 14 hours 52 minutes and 37 seconds. I decided to stop on 5005 pull-ups because pain is huge, and I think the better is I will prepare better and longer. And remember that with any preparation you will able to do anything. Keep going.